दरवाजे के सामने एक बड़ा काला बिल्ली है. I said, close the door immediately. That's not a cat, that's a black panther. My sense of smell, my sense of hearing, and my sight, even today, is very, very good. I have to keep them at that peak. So I don't watch movies, I don't go to theaters.
How do you really understand that which species, how they are and how they behave?
We walk on 2 feet. All animals walk on 4 legs. When they fight, they get onto 2 legs. We evolved to mimic fight. She said, what is this? Your place is all very quiet. I said, yeah, it's very quiet. Show you something. I switched on the light, and about 30 feet from us was sitting a leopard.
పిల్లల్ని తీసుకుని ఒక పులి చూపిద్దాం, ఒక వైల్డ్ బోర్ చూపిద్దాము, ఎక్సెప్ట్ జూ కాకుండా వెళ్దాం అనుకున్న వాళ్ళకి
Don't take selfies because you turn your back, and the last thing you should ever do in a wildlife area is to turn your back. We came to a very big open meadow. I sat him in the middle of the meadow. So I said, now you sit here, nothing will come to you. This was near Yachara. There was this very strong smell of pesticide. He cut the thigh of the animal and had put pesticides into it. So if the leopard had eaten it, it would have died.
హాయ్ హలో వెల్కమ్ టు గాయత్రి భార్గవీస్ పాడ్కాస్ట్ ది నవరస. ఇవాళ నవరసలో నేను ఒకటి చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ విషయం చెప్దాం అనుకుంటున్నాం. చాలామందికి బల్లంటే భయం, అమ్మో కాక్రోచ్ అంటే భయం, వెంటనే మనం స్ప్రేలు తీసి సప్ జల్లేస్తూ ఉంటాం. కానీ ఎంతమందికి తెలుసు దట్ ఈ బల్లి, ఈ బొద్దింక ఇవన్నీ కూడా ఒకటినొకటి తింటూ మన పర్యావరణాన్ని పరిరక్షిస్తాయని? హౌ మెనీ ఆఫ్ యూ నో దాట్? అంటే ఒక బొద్దింగ ఉంటే ఇంట్లో ఉన్న క్రిములు కీటకాలని తినేస్తుంది, అది ఒక బల్లి ఉంటే అది సాలిపురుగుల్ని తినేస్తుంది. ఇవన్నీ తెలిసినా కూడా మనం భయపడి వాటి కోసం రకరకాల మందులు అవి పెడుతూ ఉంటాం, భయపడుతూ ఉంటాం. బట్ నేచర్ ఎలా అంటే మనం కలిసి ఉండడానికి ఇవన్నీ చేసింది. అంటే ఒకదాన్ని ఇంకో దాని మీద ప్రే అయ్యి అలా వరల్డ్ అంతా సర్వైవ్ అవుతుంది. అండ్ దట్ ఈస్ హౌ ద నేచర్ ఈజ్. దాన్ని మర్చిపోయి మనం ఇవాళ మనం పెద్ద పెద్ద బిల్డింగ్స్ కట్టుకోవడానికి, మనం ఇండస్ట్రియలైజేషన్ని డెవలప్ చేయడానికి ఇవన్నిటిని నాశనం చేస్తున్నామని నా అభిప్రాయం. సో ఇవాళ నా దగ్గర ఉన్నారు ఒక స్పెషల్ వైల్డ్ లైఫ్ ఎక్స్పర్ట్. ఆయన అంటారు మనం కూడా అ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ వైల్డ్ లైఫ్ అని, ఇంత వైల్డ్గా యానిమల్స్ కన్నా అయిపోతామని ఈ మధ్య గ్రహిస్తున్నామని. సో లెట్ మీ వెల్కమ్ మిస్టర్ రాజీవ్ మాథ్యూ. నమస్కారం, వెల్కమ్ అండి.
థ్యాంక్ యూ మ్యామ్.
am I రైట్ అండి? ఒకటి ప్రేగా ఉంటుంది కదా ఎప్పుడు, ఒక మానవుడు మట్టుకే ఇలా ఉండిపోయాడు.
అది మనం ఎవాల్వ్, మన ఎవల్యూషన్ ఒకటి అన్ని జంతువులతో అయినాయి, కానీ ఓవర్ అ పీరియడ్ ఆఫ్ టైం మనం సెపరేట్ అయింది. సో అది మన ఎవల్యూషనరీ ట్రీ చూస్తే కూడా అట్లనే ఉంది. మనం ఎప్పుడు we are in a state where we need to protect our wildlife. So if you look at our evolution, we evolved in Africa. And if you look at Africa today, and you look at India, and you look at eastward, you will see how we evolved. This is very important because in our evolutionary tree, we went up from Africa. So you have very big, large animals there, megafauna. Till date, elephant, giraffe, hippopotamus, rhinoceros, lions, leopards. I mean, I'm talking of the bigger ones, not the smaller ones. Then we come to India because the human migration took that way. So if you come to India, we have the elephant, we have the tiger, we have the leopard, we have the lion, and we have the rhino. We lost some giraffe and some hippo and everything on the way.
Giraffe, hippos.
We lost that.
Hippos are still okay.
No,
rhinoceros unnai.
We have rhino. So then we went to the Indonesia. When we went to Indonesia, the Sunda Islands, as they were known as in those days. So when we went there, you have the rhino and the tiger. Rest of them have all gone. So this is how the path of evolution and human migration have taken. And when you go up into China and all that, the larger animals have died out. You have got only the tiger there. The mammals have gone. And all these are known to have been eaten away by human beings. So we evolved, we are co-evolvers of these animals.
అంటే చిన్నప్పుడు పుస్తకాల్లో అండి మౌంటైన్స్, ప్లెయిన్స్, రివర్స్, వ్యాలీస్ ఇలా అని చదువుకుంటూ వస్తాం. రకరకాల సీజన్స్ అని, నేచర్ అని.
రైట్.
దాంతోపాటు ఇవల్యూషన్ ఫ్రమ్ జస్ట్ అన్ అమీబా టు వాట్ వీఆర్ నౌ, అండ్ రకరకాల యానిమల్స్, వాటి ఈకోసిస్టమ్, ఇవన్నీ చదువుకుంటూనే వస్తాం మనం స్కూల్ అంతా కూడా. సడన్గా పెద్దగా అయ్యాక మనం అవన్నీ మర్చిపోయి ఐ, మీ, మై సెల్ఫ్, మై బ్రెడ్, మై హౌస్, మై ఫ్యామిలీకి వచ్చేస్తాం. సో మనం చదువుకున్న దేనికి? వెన్ వీఆర్ నాట్ రెడీ టు live along with the nature.
Problem is we've never been taught that way. Our education was siloed, or rather it is still siloed. They are in silos. They are in silos. So you go to something, you go to geography, history is forgotten. When you go to history, civics is forgotten. When you go to civics, something else is forgotten. So the science is forgotten. Everything is taught in silos.
They're all actually interlinked.
They're all interlinked.
Yeah, like my son, I have a child who's in the 4th class.
Right.
When he has a lesson, a monkey in the language
Right.
book, he'll have Telugu patam in which he talks about a monkey, koti.
Right.
Then he have one lesson in English where he talks about one monkey which is a friend of one boy or whatever. Then he has science lesson which talks about how a monkey is evolved to a human being.
Right.
And what the cycle is. And in the social studies, he has a lesson where they talk about different parts of the country where monkeys are there and what kind of monkeys and their names.
Right.
Things like that. They're all like interrelated.
Yes. But
that is the education, I think it's important. And then he gets excited to see one.
But the thing is, here, they're all in silos. In one, it is the monkeys being treated as a friend. In the other one, it's being treated as a pest. So how do you bridge that? So these are the issues that are there. And we have to come to something called coexistence. See, this word coexistence I'm very allergic to, for the simple reason that coexistence means you are taking away the rights, at least in India, they are taking away the rights of the people and giving more rights to the animals. So reason is like if an animal comes into your property, a wild animal, according to the law, even shooing it away, chasing it out, is considered hunting by law. So what do? What does a farmer do?
Actually, farmers have to coexist with the snakes because ఆ స్నేకే కదా ఫ్రాగ్ని తింటుంది.
No, the thing is, that's all fine. That's all very good.
Yeah.
When a leopard comes and kills a person, they say coexist with the leopard. One leopard comes into, say, Gurugram, and the people have vacated the place. So where is the coexistence? So why are you forcing something on someone which you are unwilling to do yourself?
True.
So there are lots of issues that we need to filter out. It's not a one size fits all.
I think there is a problem also అండి. ఏంటంటే చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి మనం ఈ కాంక్రీట్లో జంగల్లో పెరిగి అసలు వైల్డ్ లైఫ్ ఎక్కడ చూస్తున్నావు?
So
అసలు చూడట్లేదు. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మా అపార్ట్మెంట్లో జస్ట్ వారం క్రితం జరిగింది ఏంటంటే ఒక పాము వచ్చింది. అది ఎందుకో కూడా నేను చెప్తా. మా ఇంటి ఎదురుకుండా 300 ట్రీస్ని కొట్టేసి అపార్ట్మెంట్స్ కన్స్ట్రక్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు. సో ఆ 300 ట్రీస్ని కొట్టేసి వాళ్ళు ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ గివింగ్ దర్ వన్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ ఐ డిడ్ విత్ ద ట్రీ మ్యాన్. ఆయన అంటాడు, యూ పే మీ దట్ మనీ, ఐ విల్ రీలొకేట్ దోస్ ట్రీస్. దే డోంట్ వాంట్ టు పే దెమ్, దే రాదర్ పే ద ఫైన్ టు గవర్నమెంట్. 10 lakhs 15 lakhs ఫైన్ కట్టేద్దాం, అయిపోతుంది. గవర్నమెంట్ ఈస్ హ్యాపీ, దే ఆర్ ఆల్సో హ్యాపీ. ఓకే, బట్ ఈ రీలొకేషన్కి వాళ్ళు దే డోంట్ వాంట్ టు పే. అక్కడి నుంచి వచ్చాయివన్నీ. పెద్ద త్రాచుపాము వచ్చింది, ఫుల్ హడావిడి గోల గొప్ప, పాములు పట్టేవాడిని పిలిచి అది పిలిచి ఈ లోపల అది వెళ్ళిపోయింది. థ్యాంక్ గాడ్ ఇట్స్ గాడ్. ఇట్స్ జస్ట్ ఎ పాము, అది వెళ్తుంది. రిలాక్స్, జస్ట్ బీ అవేర్, సీ వాట్స్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ అండ్ దర్ సంథింగ్, జస్ట్ మూవ్ అవే. కానీ మనం అలా కాదు, ఫస్ట్ కర్ర తీసుకుంటాం, ఏ అని భయపడతాం, డ్రామా చేస్తాం.
So it actually proves a point. We have evolved from monkeys. But monkeys also do the same thing when they see a snake.
I love it.
So, because if you go to a troop of monkeys and if there's a snake or something, they'll go close to it and then they'll keep badgering it till one of them gets bitten. So this is the thing, because I had taken a couple of my friends. We had gone into the jungle. The couple of forest officers also with me, because most of them would like to come with me to learn a little more. In the field, what I do is I teach while in the field. Teach them what animals have gone past just by looking at the footprints, how old the footprints are and things like that. So because I started going to the jungle as a small boy when I was 3 years old. And ever since, my grandmother used to call me a jungle fowl, because early morning I used to go into the jungle and then come back.
You're the Mowgli.
Late in the night. Yes. So
You're the Mowgli of the...
I pulled out snakes out of my pocket and gifted it to my mom, and she screamed and ran away. So I was one of those little boys who was always in the jungle, always.
So how did you get introduced to wildlife, Andy?
My father, all of them were basically people who, I'm talking of the 60s and 70s when hunting was allowed. So I was taken into the jungle regularly with them. So my father used to take me, my mother used to scream. That was a different story, but so I grew up going to the jungle and it was part of me. So as I was telling you earlier, what happened once was I was about 10 or 11, not older than 11 for sure. And I was taken into my father took me into, we were part owners of a tea garden at that time. So he took me into the jungle behind the tea, and we climbed up the hill. This is in the Western Ghats. So we climb up, this is close to Ooty, to give you some context. So we go there, and this is around 5:30 or so in the evening. He sits me on a prominence, on a rock. And then he says, you sit here, I'm going up there. And mind you, there's no torch in our hands, no gun in our hands. And Western Ghats by default have got tigers, leopards and elephants, amongst other things. And he goes 100 yards and he sits on a prominence and he's smoking his cigarettes. So after some time, the only thing that you can see is that it will glow of red.
Yeah.
Every time he pulls in his puff. So we sat there for God knows how long, because it was quite a long time that I felt. Finally, when it had become very dark and I could literally see the sky with all the stars. The stars were shining. The starlight in a jungle is amazing. You can actually see the ground. So it's the starlight, especially when the Milky Way is up. You'll see that. You can literally see it's very.
We are not even able to see the stars here, sir.
Exactly. So you are not able to see anything.
Nothing.
It's just black. So that blackness is because of the light pollution that we have. But then, I don't know how long it was, but then I crept up to my father. And I'm stumbling through all this and walking up to him. I go up there and I tell Dad, let's go home. So he says, how was it? I said, I'm fine. But I was shivering, I was shaking. I was like an aspen leaf. But then he knew, and then we came back. And then he said, are you interested in going out like this? Then he said, okay, fine, if you're going, if you want to go, then tomorrow you go on your own. And I started to go on my own. I used to walk into the jungle. So he said, you go walk slow. So even today when I'm in the jungle, most of the time when I walk, I'm walking, and especially when I'm alone. Because most of the time I like to be alone because I am not then responsible for someone else. I know how to take care of myself, but I don't know another person what
yeah.
So.
And you're responsible for your own self.
Yes. So I walk very slowly. And you won't believe it, but my sense of smell, my sense of hearing, and my sight, even today, is very, very good. I have to keep them at that peak. So I don't watch movies. I don't go to theaters because that will destroy my ears.
No noise.
No noise, no sound, no nothing. No loud music at home, nothing. Just sedate, good music. I don't like noisy places. I don't go to noisy places. I don't go to crowded areas because of noise. So all this because of my love for wildlife, and I love to go and walk. I walk in the jungle. It takes me something like about half an hour to 45 minutes to walk 100 meters in the jungle.
So how have you developed this interest in wildlife and to be along with it? Because see, when you are staying with friends or when you're staying with your relatives, you understand how they are, how they behave, and you can only understand when you start living with them.
Right.
And still there's a possibility you may not understand them, especially humans. Now with the wildlife, how do you really understand that which species, how they are and how they behave, and how do you maneuverate yourself in that situation?
Interesting question. Actually, a very interesting question, because I never really thought of it till a couple of times, but then I never given it real thought. But I'll tell you the reason. One, look at ourselves. How do we walk? We walk on 2 feet. So we are erect. When we are erect, what happens? We are mimicking in the wild an aggressive posture. All animals walk on 4 legs. When they fight, they get onto 2 legs. So this is an evolutionary thing about us. We evolved to
fight.
To mimic fight. We evolved. See, going back, we aren't walking on 4s. So we always are showing a threat. We are showing that we threaten you. So animals, when they see us, they move away. It's only a...
So we are already telling with a body language that here we come.
Here we come. And we will kill you. And human beings evolved to run, chase and kill animals and eat them. Now this is total evolution. Your stomach and my stomach and everyone else's stomach.
I'm a
Here
vegetarian, sir.
You won't believe it, at home I walk around in the night and my wife says, don't you crash into things? I said, no, why? Why do you ask? Because she puts on the lights everywhere she goes and I walk in total darkness. I can
Because
see.
your senses are bright.
Yeah, my senses are there. So
That's because you
Trained
lived
myself.
like that. You've lived like that.
I trained myself.
And that's so beautiful. How do you understand that this particular animal behaves in a certain way? And how do you know? I mean, and the smallest of the thing I'll tell you, which, when I got married, I'm a total city girl and I married a Fauji, army guy.
Right.
This man is like you, who's a wildlife person, who lives in snow, he can live in tent, he can live anywhere as long as he gets his meal and little. I mean, I've learned that most of these people in the uniform, or at least in the army, they can live with the smallest of the happiness. Not much. Thoda sa khana de do and they're very happy. Chala happy ga untaru vallu. Alantidi nenu ఆయన పెళ్లి చేసుకున్నప్పుడు ఇంట్లో క్వార్టర్స్లో, ఆర్మీ క్వార్టర్స్లో పావులు, బల్లిలు ఇవన్నీ వెళ్ళేవి. అలాగే వెళ్ళేవి. నాకు భయపడి చచ్చిపోయేదాన్ని నేను ఒక సిటీ అమ్మాయి, అపార్ట్మెంట్ నుంచి వచ్చాను, నాకు అసలు గ్రౌండ్ లెవెల్ ఉండడమే తెలీదు. అలాంటిది ఇన్ని చూసి నేను అమ్మో ఏంట్రా బాబు అని అనుకో. కానీ ఆయన్ని పెళ్లి చేసుకున్నాక స్లోగా ఏమర్థమైందంటే వాళ్ళతో కలిసి ఉంటే లైఫ్ ఈజ్ ఈజీ అని. సో ఇప్పుడు పాము వెళ్ళినా, రాబిట్స్ వెళ్ళేవి, జింకలు, ఇవన్నీ మేము ఉన్నాం, చూసేసాం, అంతా అయిపోయింది. ఒక్కొక్కసారి వైల్డ్ బోర్స్ ఇవన్నీ కూడా వచ్చేవి. జస్ట్ చూడడం, అవే వెళ్ళిపోతాయి, అవే వస్తాయి, అవే వెళ్తాయి, అవే వస్తాయి. ఏం ముట్టుకోకూడదు, సైలెంట్గా చూడాలి, అబ్జర్వ్ చేయాలి అండ్ బీ మైండ్ఫుల్ that something is happening, just wait, it will go.
Yes, so I'll give you an example.
And మీరు అన్నది కూడా షూలో ఒక్కొక్కసారి కప్పలు వెళ్ళిపోతాయి, షూలో ఒక్కొక్కసారి నత్తలు, స్కార్పియన్, పాములు వెళ్ళిపోతాయి, దాన్ని ఇలా అని కొట్టి వెనకాల అది ఉండిపోతాయి, లోపల రావు కూడా, లిటరలీ కొట్టాలి ఇలా, అప్పుడు పాము బయటకు వస్తుంది డిడుకుపోయిన. చిన్న పాములు, మళ్ళీ పెద్ద పాములు, వానపాములు లాంటివి పడతాయి, దాని తర్వాత ఇలా అనుకోవడం, వేసుకుని వెళ్ళిపోవడం. స్పెషలీ ఇన్ ప్లేసెస్ వేర్ ఎక్కువ రెయిన్ఫాల్ ఉన్న చోట అలా. ఇవన్నీ నేను ఎంత దగ్గరగా చూసానంటే ఇది కదా లైవ్, నేను ఎక్కడుంటుందా. I've learned so much that I don't know, I'm so thankful to Vikram in my own way. I'm so very thankful that he's connected me to real life.
To real life, yes.
నేను అలాగే వైల్డ్ లైఫ్తో అంత ప్రేమను పెంచుకున్నాను కూడా. And I'm sorry, I'm taking too much time telling this, కానీ I think I should express, ఇప్పుడు కాకపోతే ఇప్పుడు ఎక్స్ప్రెస్ చేస్తాను నేను.
Exactly.
One of the reasons నేను మిమ్మల్ని పిలవడం కూడా అందుకనే, that why we ignoring it?
Yes, so I'll give you, my uncle's got a lovely house in about 200 acres in Munnar.
Munnar.
Yeah. So basically a plantation of coffee and spices, cardamom.
అవును.
So a friend of mine wanted to go and stay there. It's an old house. So he wanted to stay there. So I said, you go and stay. This was about good 20-25 years ago. His wife calls me and says, she's from Hyderabad. So she says, Rajiv, दरवाजे के सामने एक बड़ा काला बिल्ली है. I said, close the door immediately. That's not a cat, that's a black panther.
Oh my God.
So the black panthers come there. So then once in the same place, I was with a couple of my friends. It's a lovely old house. It's made out of wood. The whole house is made out of wood. So we were sitting, and then my wife had gone in to do something, and then my friend had gone to pick up something from the town, and I was sitting nursing my leg. I'd hurt it, so I was just sitting. I said, today I'm not driving or whatever. So you guys go and buy whatever, and I always keep a spotlight next to me, a big light. She said, what is this? Your place is all very quiet. I said, yeah, it's very quiet. I'll show you something. I switched on the light, and about 30 feet from us was sitting a leopard. It was just sitting there and looking at us. So that is what it is. So, you know, we grew up with leopards, we grew up with animals, we grew up with all kinds of things. We have seen animals at very, very close quarters.
So you can see in the dark.
I can actually make out, basically there's a lot of sound coming from these animals. You will hear them. What happens is you are not paying attention. I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention to the breath that they take. You hear a leopard.
యూజువలీ ఏమంటారు తెలుసా, ఐ వర్క్ ఫర్ దిస్ బ్లైండ్ స్కూల్ అండి. ఫర్ దెమ్ ఆల్ ది సెన్సెస్ ఆర్ మోర్ యాక్టివ్.
ఎస్.
వాళ్ళు చేయి పట్టుకున్నది గాయత్రి అక్క అనేస్తారు.
ఎస్.
ఐ లైక్ యా గాయత్రి అక్క. వాళ్ళ సెన్సెస్ ఆర్ వెరీ, దిల్ కమ్ క్లోజ్ అండ్ దిల్ స్మెల్ మీ అండ్ దిల్.
ఎస్.
అండ్ ఐ మీన్ ఐ ఫీల్ సో టచ్డ్. And I meet them only once or twice in a year, but they recognize me.
They recognize. See, the thing is, I have a friend of mine who became blind in childbirth. One of those very rare things. So, when I call her, and Arey Rajiv, kaise hai? She says, you speak once in a while, you don't speak always, and you call her up for a birthday or something like that, and then she says, "Haan, Rajiv, kaise hai?" So how does she know?
Same thing. The senses are active.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's not that your senses are dull. You're not utilizing your senses.
Problem is here.
The problem is not there actually. The problem is we are very blasé about everything. We have become very, we have become very used to everything. I remember we were driving down somewhere, and I said, who's this fellow smoking here? He says, where on earth can you smell smoke? Cigarette smoke. I said, no, it's a BD smoke. And we are driving on that route, and we come to a checkpoint where the fellow is smoking a BD. It's almost 2 kilometers away, and that 2 kilometers I can smell this BD.
Oh my God. Your senses are too active.
So what happens is you develop your senses, So it's in the jungle, you are walking blind at night. I actually got a photograph of a tiger, or rather 3 tigers. Actually the tigers were sitting, and 2 of us were walking. This is in today's Tipeshwar Wildlife Sanctuary. In those days Tipeshwar was not
So well developed.
No, it was not a sanctuary. It was just open, so anyone could walk in. So we'd gone up to the temple. There's a very old temple there. And so my friend wanted to go there, and we were coming down, and I said, "Sher hai, tiger." And he says, "Nahi re, no." So I switched on the light, and the tiger was sitting there. How do you know? I said, you didn't hear it breathe. He says, no. Then I said, there's another tiger there. You put on the light, there's another tiger.
But when you put on the light, don't they get scared? Or
No, they will just sit. If you're not doing anything, you're not running or whatever, then they sit. actually I've taken photographs with a small piddly camera, autofocus camera. So how much will the flash go? Hardly any distance, right? And I've got a very good
Picture.
full frame of that animal. Full frame in that thing.
Wow.
It was something like about 20-25 feet. So we walked. So there's nothing that's going to kill you. Nothing's going to come and kill you unless you do something stupid. And that is where my problem is. Most of the today's generation especially, everyone is worried about his selfie or herself.
No, I would want to ask about this, that ఇప్పుడు ఈ వెకేషన్స్ వస్తున్నాయి, సమ్మర్ వెకేషన్. ఈ టైంలో ఏంటంటే చాలామంది వైల్డ్ లైఫ్ చూద్దామని టూర్స్ చేస్తూ ఉంటారు. అండ్ ఈ టూర్స్కి ఈ టైం ఒకటి ఆగస్ట్ టు అక్టోబర్, అప్పుడు వానాకాలంలో కూడా యానిమల్స్ వస్తాయని ఆ టైంలో ఎక్కువ టూర్స్ చేస్తూ ఉంటారు. సో మాలాంటి టిపికల్ అర్బన్ వాళ్ళు పిల్లల్ని తీసుకుని ఓ పులి చూపిద్దాం, లేకపోతే ఒక వైల్డ్ బోర్ చూపిద్దాము, లేకపోతే సింహాన్ని చూపిద్దామని వెళ్ళి ఎలిఫెంట్ని చూపిద్దాం, ఎక్సెప్ట్ జూ కాకుండా వెళ్దాం అనుకున్న వాళ్ళకి మీరు ఇచ్చే టిప్స్ ఏంటి? అసలు ఎలా బిహేవ్ చేయాలంటే దెర్ ఇస్ ఎ వే ఐ బిహేవ్. నేను మీ ఇంటికి వస్తే ఒకలా బిహేవ్ చేయాలి, మీ ఇంట్లో ఉన్న రూల్ పాటించాలి. మీరు మా ఇంటికి వస్తే మా ఇంట్లో ఉన్న రూల్ పాటించాలి. మనం ఫారెస్ట్కి వెళ్తే ఫారెస్ట్ రూల్ ఏంటి మేము పాటించేది?
సో వన్, wear dark clothes. Always wear something comfortable.
Dark clothes.
Dark clothes and which should be comfortable. Comfortable. Wear good shoes, because if in case by any mischance there is a problem in a vehicle, then you'll have to get on and walk. You can't walk in high heels or whatever that you wear.
Shoes proper.
Shoes should be proper, always good shoes. Good ankle hugging shoes, both men and women, children also. It'll save you from a couple of things. It'll also save you from snake bites, scorpions, so many things. I mean, all those little creepy crawlies on the ground. Then always wear long pants and long full sleeves, because you will never scratch yourself or hurt yourself with
leaves and
thorns, because you'll bleed.
Yes.
And some of those thorns are poisonous. So that, because you're going in a gypsy, the gypsy will touch trees and plants and what have you, and you'll scratch yourself. And then if you're allergic, then you had it. So it's always better to be fully covered. Wear a hat or a cap or some headgear. So these are the things that you should do. Your clothing. Coming to
discipline.
Behavior. Leave all your urbanism back home. Go in there with an open mind, and don't take selfies, because you turn your back, and the last thing you should ever do in a wildlife area is to turn your back, because you want the animal behind you, you want your face in front of you in the camera, and you are exposing your back. As soon as you turn your back, the animal realizes that you're running or you're starting to run. And the animal will give chase and kill you. I mean, as simple as that. So, a lot of things have happened, especially, it is not so much in India, but in Africa and all that, you've got these walk-in safaris. And especially elephants, they will charge. And in Africa, fortunately, the game rangers, the guides, will carry a very heavy rifle with them. And I actually have footage. I'll share it with you, where they shot elephants down just because someone else would have been killed.
Oh.
See, it's either the person or the elephant. And the elephant loses. And for what? Because of your stupidity.
Absolutely.
So you have to be very, very mindful of how you behave anywhere. And in a jungle, you cannot take any chances whatsoever.
ఆ సెల్ఫీస్ కూడా మళ్ళీ ఫ్లాష్ లైట్ ఉంటుంది.
So you have another problem. If the selfies have a flashlight, then you're in a very big problem, because the animal will charge.
Okay.
So, and because most of the time people have taken selfies at night or have taken photos by the evening.
యానిమల్స్ ఎప్పుడు కనిపిస్తాయి మనం ఫారెస్ట్ లోకి వెళ్తే? తెల్లారి కట్టైనా లేకపోతే ఈవినింగ్ అయినా?
No, so we are going for a safari drive, and it would be till about mid-morning, till about 11:30. And 11:30, when you take that selfie, that flash is still on.
Correct.
You have not switched it off. So these are the reasons. In fact, in some of the sanctuaries, they are now stopping people from carrying cell phones because of this. It's not because of anything else. A lot of
Mana
people
stupidity
think
valla.
because of our stupidity. Because who is going to be blamed? Who will be blamed? It will be some forest officer or someone who's sitting there. They will say that you didn't take care of the people, you didn't do this. Because everything will boil down to someone, I mean.
అవును వాళ్ళ రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ వాళ్ళ మీద ఉంటుంది కదా.
So it becomes very difficult. And how long and how much can you tell people?
అదే ఆ స్పృహ మనకే ఉండాలి కదా.
So we have to teach people. So when I take, sometimes when my friends come, I tell them, I said, I will take you into the jungle, but you will do what I tell you to do. You are not going to do whatever you want to do. You can do it at home. Well, not under my watch. Because your life is finally my responsibility. If I have to take someone into the jungle, and most of the areas that I go to, I mean, because of my reach and the work that I do, I normally walk in the jungle. And I remember once I'd taken my wife and a couple of my friends, and we were in a gypsy. I wanted them to walk, but they said, no, they're not walking. And there was a tiger that's in long grass, mind you. The grass is about 10-12 feet high.
అబ్బో.
We are driving through the grass, and I said, there's a tiger on the left. None of them believed. The tiger was just 5 feet from the gypsy. It was just there. So, and I've got a photo of that. In fact, on my Zoom, my background is that tiger.
Wow.
So that happens. These are things that happen. And if you're careful, if you are
మైండ్ఫుల్.
mindful, careful, whatever.
అంటే మనం ఏ పని చేస్తున్నా ఆ స్థితిలో ఉండాలి కదండి.
So you have to keep your mind alert. You have to see, this comes with constant going into the jungle. This doesn't come overnight. Whatever I tell you today, it's not going to happen tomorrow to you. You cannot do that.
Zero. Yes, I agree.
So you have to walk stealthily. You have to. What I do is, when I'm walking in the jungle, I put my finger into my mouth and I hold it up.
Why?
You know why?
ఎందుకు?
Breeze. It will tell me from which side the breeze is blowing. So if now the breeze is blowing from my left, and if I'm in a man-eating tiger country, let's say, I've also had an experience with a man-eater. So if the breeze is blowing from my left, it's going to the right. So, and I'm walking forward. So my danger to me will be from my right and from behind. Because the tiger knows that all its prey smells, sense it. So it will always move to the downwind. It will move downwind. So I would like to keep myself upwind of whatever is there. So that, then the threat perception is gone. So every 50 meters or something, I do this.
Oh.
So it tells you where the wind is coming from. Because you can't have cotton and sand and everything.
I know.
At every time, you can't have it in your pocket. So the
Simplest test.
Simple test is spittle. And you'll feel the coolness on one side. And then you know that it's blowing from that side. So it's as simple as that. I mean, all this comes out of only experience in living in the jungles. You will not get it living in cities or someone trying to tell it to you, because you'll not even know which. Now, after telling you this, after 2 days, you'll not know where to go, whether to go where the wind is blowing or whether to go away from the wind, and where to look for the problem. So when you're walking in the jungle, you should always be very aware of where you are. I remember once we were in a place called Kanargaon. Now it's again a sanctuary. Earlier it was not a sanctuary, it was all open. And there's this beautiful fossil, all these tree fossils.
Acha.
And further down you also have animal fossils. I have actually photos of fish that is 200 million years old. So that is the Godavari Pranahita Valley, as they call it. It's the most fertile place for fossils. I have seen dinosaur eggs. I have seen dinosaur footprints. So you have that there. So we were going, and then this friend of mine, he was also there with me. He's a photographer. He wanted to come. And halfway through he said, I can't walk. I said, we are halfway through, this way 3 kilometers, that way 3 kilometers. So let us do that. We'll go to the fossil park and we'll come back and pick you up. But that is a tiger country. So what I did was, I said, you walk. We came to a very big open meadow. I sat him in the middle of the meadow. So it is 50 yards on either side, 50 meters on, 45 meters on either side. So I said, now you sit here. Nothing will come to you. Because no animal will charge that much to get to a person. And you sit here. He sat there. For the next 2 hours, he was shivering. We had no other choice but to leave him there. We couldn't walk. So we went, we came back, and then we picked him up from there and
walked back.
So this is how you should know what you're doing in the jungle.
అది తెలుసుకోవాలి, అదే కదా ఇంపార్టెంట్.
So you should know where to put a person. You can't put him up in a tree. I actually got some videos where you probably will be very interested, because we had put up some people for some machan and the tiger came.
అవునా?
The people were sitting on the bloody tree.
ఆయన నుంచి కింద టైగర్. ఓ మై గాడ్.
So these things happen. I mean, this is what life is.
నాకు ఒక మాట చెప్పండి, మనం బిల్డింగ్స్ చేయాలని అర్బనైజేషన్ అనండి, లేకపోతే అపార్ట్మెంట్స్ ఇల్లులు కట్టడానికి, హౌసింగ్కి చాలా మట్టుకు చెట్లు అవి కట్ చేసి మనం ఎక్స్ప్లాయిట్ చేస్తున్నాం. ఆర్ ఇండస్ట్రియలైజేషన్ అవుతుంది, అందుకని కూడా అవుతుంది. ఎక్స్పాన్షన్స్ అవుతున్నాయి. అంటే ఇప్పుడు హైదరాబాద్ ఇదివరకు ఉన్నట్టు కాదు, వైడ్గా ఎక్స్పాండ్ అయిపోయింది. జస్ట్ మనం ఈ పాటే ఆలోచిస్తున్నాం. సో అలాంటప్పుడు అసలు ఈ వైల్డ్ లైఫ్ ఉండడానికి, అవి బతకడానికి అసలు జగ అంటూ ఉందా?
There is. Actually, we have decent forests. In fact, we have good forests because our urban dwellings have become in a particular area. They have expanded, but what should happen is, I really don't know. I think there's a lot of migration also happening of people. There's a lot of migration from the north to the south, and there is that because of better opportunities. Employability, there is better opportunities, life is safer, and so many things. I mean, I'm not going to get into the problems there, but because of that, people are moving south. So you will have that pressure. But if we can contain it, the government should also say that these are inviolate areas. Now, unfortunately, the government is also not doing it. I'm expanding this and going to Andaman Nicobar Islands. So in the Nicobar, we have the Nicobar Islands. They want to now demolish and make some mega.
I know.
So what is going to happen? Now they're saying that they're going to plant some million trees in Gujarat. That planting of those million trees in Gujarat is not going to help anything anywhere. You are taking trees and planting. I'll come to that. But the first thing is, what are we doing? We are destroying
the nature, the actual natural ecosystem.
Yes. So what are you destroying? You're destroying a bird called the megapode. Megapode is a bird with very big toes. That's why it's called the megapode. Megapods. So the megapode is it's called the scrub chicken otherwise. Now what it does is, it digs a hole in the ground and it lays an egg, covers it and walks off. Why? Because it doesn't want to sit on the eggs like chicken, because the ground is all volcanic. That entire area is volcanic. That Sulawesi, that belt, the Sunda belt as they call it, is all volcanic. It's on the edge of the rim of fire. There's something called the rim of fire, which rings the Pacific. So we are on that edge. So the Andamans is on that very edge of it. So this heat is what hatches those chicks. Then you have got the Narkondam hornbill. The Narkondam actually it's a Tamil Malayalam word. Naraga is hell. Kundam is a pit. The Narakundam, pit of hell, because all those are still active volcanic areas. So things, because hell is hot and burning and full of fire and what have you. So, so you have those birds. You have got so many other endemics. The trees are endemic. You can't replace all that in mainland. And what are you doing in Gujarat? You're planting big trees.
Yeah.
We are a water deficit country, and you're planting trees. What will the tree do?
I know, that too, not those trees which are really important.
No, whatever it is, doesn't matter what tree, even if it's the important trees. The roots will go down, suck up water, and the water will get transpired. So you're losing water. There's something called water cycle which we don't understand. In fact, a friend of mine, his daughter wrote I had written a piece on something called virtual water. We'll talk about this later. But virtual water. And she did when she wrote about virtual water, even a school teacher, MSc masters in commerce, MCom lecturers were not very sure of what she was writing. I was telling how water is exported from India to outside, how we export water. So that will keep it for some other time.
Some other time, yes.
But coming to wildlife,
అంటే నాకు ఇంకొకటి కూడా ఉందండి, ఏంటంటే అఫ్ కోర్స్ మీరు చెప్పారు దట్ దీస్ ఆర్ ద థింగ్స్ టు బి డన్ ఫర్ పీపుల్ హూ ఆర్ గోయింగ్ ఆన్ అ ట్రెక్ ఆర్ అ ఫారెస్ట్ సఫారీ, జంగల్ సఫారీ. ఇప్పుడు మళ్ళీ జూ పార్క్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఓకే, అఫ్ కోర్స్ వంతారా ఇస్ ఆల్సో దేర్, విచ్ ఇస్ న్యూ. వాట్ ఆర్ వి యాక్చువల్లీ ట్రైంగ్ టు డూ? వీఆర్ ట్రైంగ్ టు సే దట్ ఓకే, ఇది లెపర్డ్, ఇది టైగర్, ఇది ఎలిఫెంట్, అందరూ చూడండి అని చూపించడానికా?
No, actually a zoo it started that way. It started as private menageries from the Roman times, then it came down to the colonial era, and finally it is now the zoo. But zoos have evolved. Zoos are no more just places where animals are there for exhibits. I'll give you an example of Hyderabad Zoo. In the late 70s, early 80s, something called the CCB-MTI, Crocodile Breeding and Management Research Institute, was set up in Hyderabad. The policy of this, and Mrs. Gandhi, Indira Gandhi, was the one who was spearheading it. She wanted to make this as a crocodile leather industry.
Oh.
Because crocodiles were being poached for skin, and crocodiles had almost become extinct worldwide. It's not just India. The American alligator, today most of your watch straps are American alligator skins, the expensive, like your Rolex and things like that. You have alligator skins.
Yeah.
So Indira Gandhi wanted to do that, so she got someone called HR Bustard. I mean, another person whom I know personally. So HR Bustard was then with the FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization. So he was got to Hyderabad, and the CCB-MTI was put. And the crocodiles were being bred and raised in our zoo. And every so many years, when the crocodiles became about 3 to 4 feet in length, they were released into the natural places. First, to replenish the wild populations. But then we got chicken feet, and then all this went out. In the meantime, people came from abroad and they took this, went to Indonesia and all that, and then they developed the crocodile skin. It started in India, where we could have minted money.
Okay.
You need to see, this is where you need to bring in some expertise, and you should not have emotions
attached.
No, wildlife and emotions don't work. Nature has no emotions, wildlife has no emotions. So you have that, if you disconnect these two, then everything will be fine. But because of that, we have had so much of crocodile increase. We also gave ghadials, the ghadials, fish-eating crocodiles. We gave them to the Chambal, we gave them to all of those areas. And then mouse deer, this little deer. We have bred them in our zoo. It's with 6. Now we have got a couple of 100 of them, and we keep releasing them into the jungle. Now see, this is what a zoo does. Zoos are meant to be reservoirs of germplasm, which can be introduced elsewhere. Same thing with the Przolski horse. the horses of Mongolia, the wild horses of the steppes, the Central Asian steppes. What happened? They were almost finished. And some European zoo, I don't remember, I think it was a Munich zoo or something, they gave horses back into the wild. And those horses are now running free on the steppes.
Are we still doing this
Yes,
kind of a
we
thing?
still have them. But crocodiles, I think we stopped because there are too many crocodiles.
Too many, okay. But still zoo is a place అంటే ఏమంటారంటే జూ లాంటి ప్లేస్లో ఇంకా బ్రీడ్ చేసి ఇంకా వాటి
So you-
నంబర్స్ని ఎక్కువ చేయడానికి.
So now we have got the deer parks. We have got the Chilkur Deer Park. We have got the Harina Vanastali Deer Park in Vanastali. And we have got the Shamirpet Deer Park. What they do is they capture all these deer, spotted deer mainly, and they take them to all the tiger reserves and release them there, augmenting the food for the tigers.
Oh, I got it.
So when we had a problem with a leopard, I remember telling these guys, why don't you capture some? And so they actually took 50 of them and put them there. So, this is what management is. You augment where it is needed. You don't augment where it is not needed. You build a kind of a, you also have to give a helping hand to nature, because every forest that we have put our little finger into it.
Right.
So we need to handhold any of these forests. So we need to also do a lot of management. This falls partly in active management of a forest, but we need to do active management. All this is because what happened was, at that time I was called, this happened about a couple of years ago. I don't now remember exactly when, but I've got the dates at home. I've written them down. I've got photos also for that. A calf was killed by a leopard. This was near Yacharam, and the forest department was not very clear as to what killed it. So they said that, why don't you come and have a look-see at it? So we went and we were walking with the DFO, and we walked up and we saw the pug marks of the leopard. It was a good, nice female. So I said, let's go. Followed it up, and then we heard the monkeys screaming. I said, there's a leopard somewhere here. I said, anyway, the leopard is wherever it is. Now let's follow the trail to where it has taken this carcass. And it was a good thing that we went there. When we went there, there was this very strong smell of pesticide. Very strong smell of pesticide. So I said, now, what the hell is this? Why pesticide smell? Then I smelled the carcass, the calf, and I sniffed it. So I said, this is coming from this. Then I looked, it's all black. I said, this guy's doused it with pesticide. And he cut the thigh of the animal, both the thighs, and had put pesticides into it. So if the leopard had eaten it, it would have died there. Seeing us doing that, that fellow took a bike and he went and he skid and fell and broke his leg.
ఆ గవర్నమెంట్ ఒక పాలసీ ఇచ్చింది ఏమనంటే, మీ ఓన్ కెటిల్ని కనుక ఏమైనా యానిమల్స్ చంపేస్తే, లయన్ కానీ టైగర్ వచ్చి చంపేస్తే దానికి మేము డబుల్ మునాఫా ఇస్తాం మీకు, కంపెన్సేషన్ ఇస్తామని. అది వాడు యానిమల్ చంపేసిందని చెప్పుకోవడానికి ఇచ్చేసాడా?
No, so he didn't want that leopard to live.
Oh my God.
See, the thing is, because he says that, now look at it from his side.
అసలు నేను ఊహించుకోలేకపోతున్నా మీరు చెప్తుంటే.
So this is what happens. See, so what I did is I got the whole carcass down and we burnt it. I stood there till the whole carcass was burnt.
Okay, నాకు అర్థమైంది. I think for my audience you should tell it. I got it, but I think our audience needed more clarity of why he did it.
So the carcass, if it is left, the leopard will come and eat it. Leopard does not know the smell of pesticide.
అవును.
It's not, his mother is not told that this is poison.
అవును.
Because the mother eats it, the mother will die before telling the kid. So, and anyway, leopards don't communicate the way we do. So these are the problems, I mean, so we have to understand, we have to go to each and every kill and see what has happened.
ఓకే, సో ప్రతిసారి ఏదైనా ఇలాంటి జరిగినప్పుడు మీరు వెళ్తారు చూడడానికి. మీరు వెళ్ళి చూసి దాన్ని రెక్టిఫై చేస్తారు. ఇది నిజంగా ఒక లెపర్డో ఒక టైగరో వచ్చి కిల్ చేసిందా, లేదంటే హ్యూమన్ కూడా ఇలా చేస్తాడా అన్న?
Yes. So one of the instances where I think I was telling Colonel Vikram about the tiger and the boy and me was because of this, because I was in Farabad, which is in Amrabad Tiger Reserve now. At that time it was in the erstwhile whole state of Andhra Pradesh. So it was in it was called the Sri Salam Tiger Reserve, NSTR. So Nagarjuna Sri Salam Tiger Reserve. So I was there at Farabad, and then I got a call saying that there's a buffalo kill. So can you go and see if it is killed by a tiger or by human or whatever? Because a lot of people will kill an animal to get compensation.
అదే అర్థమైంది. అది వాళ్ళే చంపేసుకుని వాళ్ళ ఆవుల్ని దూడల్ని డబ్బులు తీసుకోవచ్చు గవర్నమెంట్ నుంచి.
So they do. So there are lots of things. I mean, it doesn't make much of a difference to the government, but then everyone wants to.
డబ్బులు ఎవరికి వద్దు.
So anyway, so I went there, and let me put this. I parked the car. There's a huge banyan tree on which usually we see a leopard sitting. So that is where I parked my car. And you're walking through dwarf palm. You have this Ita Chettu, no?
Oh, Ita Chettu.
The date palm. So there's a small, they're stunted, they're not very high. So they come up to about 5 feet high. I mean, so you've got a whole, it's very thick, it's only just that. And then you're walking through a game trail. The game trail is at best 1 foot wide. So you're walking and everything is touching you. So you walk to, there's a place, there's a lake there called Pichakunta Cheruvu. So we have to get to that Pichakunta Cheruvu, and that is 1 kilometer from where we are. So we walk through this pressing game trail. Reach there and we see the buffalo lying half eaten. So I tell these guys, this chap sitting was with me, and I said, the tiger should be here because it has not covered it. I had hardly finished saying that when the tigress charged. He came shooting at us because she thought we were going to do something with her. And this is at 11 in the morning, mind you. It is not even early in the morning or whatever. So we are there, and I call up my friend who was there, and I said, no, I mean, this is much later. But I caught hold of this guy. So I caught hold of this guy by the neck. I said, you're not moving. It was on my right. I said, don't move, you're not moving. Pain of death, you're not moving. So I held him there and said, wait. And the tigress made a lot of noise. It was a tigress because that was the domain of this one tigress. So I said, you're not moving till she goes. So she was about 20-30 feet from us. She had come very close to us. I said, okay, she's not going to kill us. She's not going to charge at us. After some time, maybe in a minute, which looked like an age, looked like 100 years for us, she walked back. She went back. She just turned and walked off. She didn't even look back at us or whatever. Now, the thing is, you have to walk back.
I know. గుండె డగ్గ 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 ఎప్పుడు వచ్చి చార్జ్ చేయొచ్చు.
Then she can. And tigers move like they move like shadows. A ghost may make some sound, but this damn thing will not make any sound.
The palms are so soft.
Soft. And they're walking, and the longest 1 kilometer I ever walked in my life. So that is what the jungles are. You know? So
మీకు ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది అంటే ఒక టైగర్ తినేసింది తన ఆహారం అంటే కవర్ చేసేస్తుందా దాన్ని ఏమంటారు?
Yeah, so what they do is they if a tiger is moving away for a long to some area, what it does is it will take the grass or something like that and it will bring it by paw and cover it.
అవునా?
Yeah.
ఎంత మర్యాద.
So that vultures will not come and eat it. Vultures and foxes and all
మళ్ళీ
that.
వచ్చి తినచ్చానా?
So it will come back again. So And I called the guy up and I said, but that was the longest 1 kilometer walk I've ever walked.
Lovely.
So that, see, basically when you, and then she actually made a lot of noise. So she was trying to chase us away, saying, don't come and take my food, kind of a thing. So these are some of the instances that I've had in the jungles. Lots of them like that. I mean, I can tell you for
yes, ఇప్పుడు మనం మన పిల్లలకి కానీ లేకపోతే ఫారెస్ట్లో ఇలా జరుగుతుంది, దిస్ ఇస్ హౌ ఇట్స్ గోయింగ్ టు బీ అనడానికి, ఈస్ దేర్ అ వే వీ కెన్ టీచ్ దెమ్? అంటే ఐఎమ్ ఆస్కింగ్ యాజ్ అ మదర్, ఐఎమ్ ఆస్కింగ్ యాజ్ సంబడి హూస్ కన్సర్న్, సో దాట్ అట్లీస్ట్ వచ్చే తరమైనా, మా తరం ఎలాగో అయిపోయింది, వచ్చే తరమైనా వాళ్ళకి ఓకే దిస్ ఇస్ ద వే వీ నీడ్ టు బిహేవ్, దిస్ ఇస్ ద వే వీ నీడ్ టు లివ్ విత్ ద నేచర్ అన్న ఒక పర్స్పెక్టివ్ తీసుకురావాలంటే ఏం చేయొచ్చు అంటారు?
బేసిక్లీ I think it should boil down to the parents.
అవును, ఎలా? నేను పేరెంట్గానే అడిగా.
So exactly. So it should boil down to the parent who is willing to take children. The culture of going for picnics is gone. I don't know if you remember in your childhood, but in my childhood, we were out on a picnic every weekend. We used to take a fishing rod, we used to take something, go catch fish, we used to bring that, we used to cook it, eat it, whatever. But we did that. Today there is no concept of picnic. Everyone's sitting, they want to go to a resort.
Mall.
Or a mall or wherever. I mean, I hardly go to a mall.
No, అసలు చెప్తున్నా అంటే there is పిక్నిక్ ఎక్కడ సార్, ఎక్కడుంది అసలు? పార్క్స్ లేవు.
No, so don't go into a park. No, just go. So just drive down to something like your Pocharam reservoir. Beautiful reservoir. Just go there, spend some time and come back. 2 hours drive.
Okay. అదొకటి. ఇంకొకటి,
go to so many places. Nizam Sagar is there. You just take a car and just drive down. You've got Narsapur forest. Go past Narsapur forest, you will get open grounds. Sit there and have a picnic and come. I do that even today. That's the reason why I asked you. Because usually what we do is, my wife and I on Sundays, we pack up food,
go there and have
and I've got a small stove, gas stove, small little gas stove with small cylinders. So I take that, I take coffee, I take
whatever
all these
required.
things, and we go there, we have a picnic and we come.
So మేమేం చేయొచ్చు ఇంకా? Okay, that picnic is one part. What else?
Picnic is there. You can go out, you can go to some place. This is, picnics are over. Then you can teach children, show them something, ask them to read books, not flip through
the gadgets.
Yes, and another thing that today which is not there is children don't get bored. There's nothing called boredom. Actually, boredom is what makes your mind to wander. You'll start to think. You know, when we were children, we used to be taken fishing. We were made to sit very quietly, just sit there with this damn rod, and if a fish bites you, flick it in.
వాటర్ ఎక్కడ ఉంది సార్ ఇప్పుడు?
So there are so many places. There are so many places. You will go there, you will throw that thing and you will not catch one little minnow in it. But the thing is, what happens when you are doing that? You're concentrating.
Patience.
Your mind is wandering. When your mind is wandering, you're thinking. When you're thinking, you're dreaming. When you're dreaming, you are thinking what next, how. And then that is where innovations are built. Your mind is then trained to innovate. How do I get out of this hole that my dad has put me in? So things like that. I mean, you have to take it. You know, parents also, because today as soon as a child screams, some iPad or a phone or something is shoved into his face.
Oh, children are very difficult to manage these days.
So we were told, I mean, my mom also always used to say, you know, if you cry, she used to say, I'll give you a reason to cry. You spank us. So that is how we were brought up. I mean, there's a lot of...
there is a generation gap ankondi
huge
from then to
gap.
now, because of course a lot of gadgets, globalization, and too much of information now for the kids, unfortunately.
See, the thing is...
Too much of information.
The problem is, are you able to digest that information? You are not able to digest it. You yourself are not able to digest it. What about the child? And we are stuffing that child, and then you are very proudly saying, my son can speak this, my son can do that, my daughter can do this. You know, you are actually putting more pressure on the child.
So, Coxar, not to do anything is also the best thing to do.
The best thing to do is not to do anything.
Perfect. Thanks for coming and letting us know that forest lo ela behave cheyali మేము, ఎలా ఉండాలి అన్న ఒక అవగాహన ఇచ్చారు మాకు ఇవాళ. and a conscious living and being aware of surroundings.
You have to be very conscious and you should know what is around you.
Yes.
If you're conscious and if you're aware
Aware.
of what is around you, you will not only survive the jungle, you will also survive the city. Because I've seen, road rage. Your road rage is because you're not aware of half the things are happening around you.
I agree.
10% may be instigation, 90% is reaction.
Agreed.
You don't, react to everything. We have become so reactionary that it's impossible to live.
Be quiet.
Winston Churchill said, something very famously. He said that you will never achieve your goal if you keep throwing stones at every dog that barks at you. So, you can't do that. You have to let go of things. And people say, when people talk, that's it. There is nothing much you can do about it.
I just loved what you said. That's true, sir. Very true, very true.
There'll be a million people who will criticize you for so many things. Maybe they will even criticize me for doing what I did. But, those are times, times will not change.
True.
And you will be behaving according to time.
Nice. With this note, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
Mr. Rajeev, thank you so much. Nice to have you. And we'll meet again soon.
Yes.
Thanks for your time.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you.